Hello, good morning, and thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast this morning. My name is Etoma Edu.
And of course, I have to wake you up the right way. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to our show. This is where we have all those conversations. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. The name is Ria Abdul.
Indeed, Nigeria, it is time for breakfast. I am so pleased that you're choosing to spend your morning here with us on the TVC Breakfast Show. My name is Olamide Ojekunle.
Thank you so much once again for joining us. It's a Tuesday morning and we're here to give you all the information you deserve to know. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. I took that from you. Good to see you.
You were missed.
No. I know.
I was alone yesterday. I was outnumbered 3 to 1 man.
No, but I watched you. It was fantastic.
Why do we complain? You know, because there are some days we would have only a Toma on the street.
Just me and 3 women.
Bevy of beauties. Yeah. Sometimes it could be me with bevy of beauties. Just you yesterday, we made you feel very comfortable.
No, I think you did. You did. I watched you. You did.
Right, but it's not the same as having my girl.
Okay, no problems at all.
It's not the same.
Well, good morning once again, Nigeria. There's a lot to talk about on the show this morning. You know how we do it. At some point, we'll do the newspaper review where Ibrahim brings us everything from the headlines of the newspaper. And then we have an interview. Later on, we will talk about it on the show. We go to Abuja where we have the FCT brief. We come back where the beautiful Olamide will tell us everything trending. We're trending now. So please grab your cup of coffee and let's have a fantastic show this morning. But we'll start with the story where some of the nation's registered political parties have called for the creation of Electoral Offences Commission to try electoral offenders. Now, they also want the National Assembly to take a second look at the role of the judiciary to redeem its image. Now, the political parties equally want adequate representation of persons with disability, the youth, and other vulnerable groups.
To my dear mothers and sisters, the women who are advocating for special seats, there is an advice I would like to advise. It's not just about getting the seat and you get to that parliament. The political parties that sponsor you, are you going to stay with them?
I think we should also include, which may even be maybe easier, that you reserve the office of the deputy speaker in the House of Reps for women. Any woman that gets there, automatically, or women that gets there among them, a woman must be the deputy speaker. A woman must also be the deputy speaker of every state assembly. The deputy senate president must also be a woman.
Welfare is part of the compulsory role of Federal Republic of Nigeria vis-a-vis, through our constitution. But we are not implementing it. The constitution says the welfare of average Nigerian shall be the responsibility of government. So if we cannot take care of everybody, but we choose these vulnerable ones.
For me, I think this is a fantastic discovery, Etoma, if you agree with me, because during elections, we say INEC cannot do it all. We have people that, vote buying, rigging, and all of that, even stealing of ballot boxes. And now we're saying that we have a commission that will bring them to book, like I always say, because I like people to be brought to book. So right now, we're saying that there will be a commission. So INEC is not going to have all the responsibilities. Now we have a commission that deals with these people. And we know how it comes when it gets to election, where people just do different things. Even the insecurity, people are scared to go out to vote because they're afraid of what will happen. So right now, we are having a commission that would try these people. I think it's a fantastic idea, Toma, but will it work? That's the problem.
Good. You took that out of my mouth. Having a commission for a special purpose like that, it's always a good idea, anyhow you look at it, especially when you have had serial recordings of this same thing happening. Vote buying. The one that really annoys me is the vote buying, because it's done as if it's a campaign program. People come in and all that. It's done openly. The impunity about it is so annoying. However, having a commission and getting the commission to deliver, especially when it has to do with politics, that's a different kettle of fish. Now, I want to look at the commissioner. How is it going to be constituted? What agencies are supposed to work with the commission? Because the commission can't sit in Abuja and arrest somebody in Jigawa that has just snatched a ballot box. They have to work with the police. They have to work with other agencies. Those agencies, how empowered are they? What is the constitutional backing they have you know, to do their job. And what guarantees do we have that when those culprits are arrested, we won't have a phone call from their godfather that will make
Etoma, you just dropped a bomb on the table.
So it's good to have the commission, quite all right, but let's see it deliver first before we start shouting.
That's the thing. Before we start praising it, can it stand the test of time? And Etoma, I agree with you solely. You know, at the end of the day, those people will be caught. Will they be brought to book? But last one, I think that anybody that even practices in vote buying or selling your vote should be arrested, because at the end of the day, that is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go and vote for the right person. Nobody should influence you by giving you rice, meat, which at the end of the day, it goes down the drain because you can't keep all of those things. So I think that this is a fantastic idea, but my worry is that would they be able to implement it properly now?
Absolutely. I think like with any lofty or noble pursuit such as this, we've had several times. I mean, the INEC itself inherently was created, you know, to stop electoral fraud and electoral malpractice. Like we've rightly said, the issue now will be implementation. There's going to be a lot of manpower that will need to be put on the ground. People from the EFCC, the DSS, even INEC's legal and financial department will be need to put on ground to trace funding of these electoral malfunction networks. Even I would like to see more data and digital analysts being put on ground to trace the funding and to trace this electoral malpractice that's going on. I think, like we've rightly said, the main issue here will be when they are finally caught. The final stop will be the judiciary. For them to even urge the National Assembly to put this sort of thing in place, it signals, unfortunately, a mistrust in the judiciary. And the systems are already on ground, and that's a shame that we need to see. It's a noble pursuit, but I want to see it implemented properly. I would suggest something like community intelligence officers. Etoma, like you rightly said, you know, we don't need somebody all the way in the capital calling for people in Jigawa and Benue State to be prosecuted. We want community intelligence on ground, so they know the intimidation tactics that take place. They know the networks, and so we need local policing on ground and a lot of data gathering.
But you know, Ibrahim, let me come to you here. This is not the first time we hear when it comes to election, these kind of things happen. You know, we see vote buying, we see rigging, like just so many things. A lot of people will tell you, I don't want to go out and vote because I'm afraid of what will happen, which is not supposed to be. It's always supposed to be a free and fair election. I just want you to weigh in on that a little bit, but let's also talk about the people with disabilities, because they mentioned them. At the end of the day, they are people too as well, and they should be given the right to vote.
Absolutely. And I think we've done so well since 1999 when election, we had these democratic elections, but you know, over time there have been elections where we have people being killed, ballot snatching, and all of that. So one thing is, we know that judiciary is very much overwhelmed. At a point in time, you know, oftentimes after elections, you see people being sworn in. Later on, they will be removed out of the office because of certain law rulings. So the other thing, what people are asking for is now let's have electoral offences commission separately, or we have the electoral court separately. So it's a lofty idea, but others are asking. So when we have this, we'll now begin to budget another thing for another round of money for it. We'll have people being selected. Maybe they could be having, probably they will have political affiliation with other politics. And then another thing is, okay, so if we have them, how often or how are we so sure that they will deliver on the mandate? But one thing is, whatever it is that we'll do to make sure that we have electoral integrity, then we should push forward for it. Because what we have currently, is it working? No.
No, it's not.
But we know that INEC has introduced a whole lot of reforms, which really played out in 2023. So in 2027, which is fast approaching,
almost
what exactly
Ibrahim,
do we want to put on the ground to ensure that we have proper electoral processes, and then we have people go to their ballot boxes. Polling booths, not scared,
not being afraid,
they'll be happy to do anything.
I just want to quickly, very briefly add that this is indeed a catch-22. You have systems in place that keep people in poverty and in lack, that make them want to do this without tackling the issues at hand.
But the thing is that at the end of the day, no amount of poverty should make you want to sell your vote, because when you do that, you're doing it for your unborn children. You have children and they will suffer from it. So I really like it, and I hope that it's something that will be able to stand the test of time. Well, we'll take a breather now, and when we return, Ibrahim is ready to give us all those headlines from the newspaper review. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. This is TVC.